Hello and welcome to another edition of Talkin' Business. I'm Joey Trombley. On the camera is Calvin Castine, the godfather, the grandfather of hometown cable himself. And today our travels have taken us to Global Fitness Gym here, and this is on Route 11 between Champlain and Rouse's Point. We're going to go inside and talk to Joy. She's the proprietor here, and it's kind of neat to have this in our backyard. I don't think many people think about that, but health is a big issue these days. It's always been, but it's really mainstream now. And Joy will talk to us about the different things inside that can help you, whether with your cardio or your muscular strength training, just to help you get fit and to better shape. And it can be for any age, from young people to middle age to older people. It's been proven that if people get on a daily fitness routine, they feel a lot better, they feel healthier, they lower their blood pressure, their cholesterol can go down with the proper diet while they're exercising. So we're going to get all this information from Joy when we go inside. All right, we made it inside, and I'm with Joy Joubert, the proprietor of the Global Fitness here in Champlain, Chazy. And Joy, how many years has this been around?
We've been open a total of 14 years this year. We've been in this building, it'll be 9 years this year. Okay. Previously, we're in the building next door. Okay. And we constructed this building in 2003. So
14 years total in this marketplace?
Yes.
Okay, yes. And I'm assuming over the years that the membership has grown?
For a while it did, but as with everyone with the economy right now, actually the last year we have seen a bit of a decrease in the gym part of the membership, but not, believe it or not, not in our martial arts program.
So the martial arts has really picked up?
That stays steady. We have people that come from Chazy Lake, Dannemora, Plattsburgh for our program for that. Mm-hmm.
Wow, so you really reach out there then?
We do. We have a different type of very traditional Korean program.
So is that more outside the northern tier area for the martial arts? Do you get people from outside the area to come for the gym membership?
We have some. We have some people that'll come from Plattsburgh. There's people that come, from Beatman Town. But as far as a lengthy travel, it's usually for the martial art program, where that's something specific that they're looking for.
And I know when I walked in there, this is a massive place, and you offer a lot of opportunities for people to work on their health.
We do.
And we'll kind of visit the different areas, but can you kind of give the folks out there an idea of what you do offer here?
We have included in our memberships, we have not, and hopefully will not ever have to charge additional to our members for specialty classes. You join, the martial arts is included if you choose to do that. We have spin class, yoga class, and aerobics classes. And those are in the late afternoon, early evening. That is a good way for people to introduce themselves to a facility if they're not familiar with what goes on out here. They can hop in on a class, they get familiar with the other people that are in the gym, it makes them a little more comfortable. Like our aerobics classes, we change it out all the time because usually after 2 weeks of doing a steady aerobic activity, your body starts to get used to it already.
Right.
So with an aerobic activity, you constantly have to challenge your body, change the movements, the choreography of it. So we do a bunch of different type of aerobics, and included in that is very light rubberized weights. So that way they're getting light resistance training, which is great for toning. Right, and bone density, keeping good bone density. So that's a good way for newcomers to kind of get adjusted, acclimated to the gym. We offer personal training. You've never been in here, or it's been a long time since you've been in. You fill out a health and evaluation form, and as long as you don't answer yes to any of those questions, we figure out what you need. We get you started on cardio, and I have a brief little chat with you. I set up a program specifically for your needs. And those programs go for about 6 to an 8 week period. I can be with that person each and every time. Or some people are good at, we go through the one session and they're good on their own until the 6 week time is up, and I reevaluate it because they're going to get their chart and they have to keep track of what they're doing. They're going to get a pamphlet that's going to have terminology in it, their targeted heart rate, charts and things that they can use. That makes it easier for them to transition in as well.
Well, we know that obviously the weights and the cardio is good for your physical part of it, but it's only as good as you have a proper diet too. Do you talk about diet with people too?
I do. I'm certified in nutrition as well, and actually a big part is diet. A lot of people think, all I got to do is exercise. Well, it takes 3,500 calories to accumulate a pound.
Correct.
Diet is a very big part of it, and most people know what they're really supposed to eat and not to eat, especially because, the media today, in school, education, proper nutrition, it's out there. People really do know. It's the willpower to do it. There is, in that pamphlet, that I give to people, there is a food log. And sometimes when people hit a plateau, or if they have been doing this, let's say for 4 weeks and nothing, they're not noticing anything. I'll say, keep a diary for me for 2 to 3 weeks. And, for the most part, people are usually pretty good. But then they think, I see cheese and crackers, and I'll say, well, what do you mean cheese and crackers? And they'll say, oh, well, I take to work with me those prepackaged. And I'm like, no. So, I highlight things, and I have them remove them. May have them, take an extra cardio class or add an extra day of cardio. So then, they'll lose that extra 5 pounds.
Well, I think out there it's very confusing because there's many different ways to lose weight, but it's a very simple process. You burn more than you consume.
It's calories in, calories out.
Exactly. And if people would just cut out 200 to 300 calories a day.
Exactly.
Which is very easy to do when you're paying attention.
It is.
And then, how people, they'll do a cardio routine, they go, I only burnt 250 calories. But there's a lot more benefit in just the burning of the calories.
Yes. It usually takes 20 minutes of cardio to get up to that fat burning. And there's a difference between burning fat and working on cardio.
Correct.
So people that come in and they're looking for a fat burning routine, there's different ways to do that. I mean, you do it with working with resistance training as well. And you're better off burning 250 calories of exercise a day and decreasing your caloric intake by 250 a day. So that's 500 calories. I personally like to eat and I love to cook. So I'd rather do that than have to deprive myself 500 calories a day.
Right. But what you just said, in a week's time they've lost a pound.
Exactly.
So if it's slow, it stays off for a long time.
Yes.
If you do it fast, there's a tendency to come back.
And you have to change your mindset so you know what you're eating, and you kind of start getting an idea of caloric value of food, what you're eating, how many calories, and so you kind of keep a mental tally of what you're consuming in a day. So if you're you're burning 250, saving 250 in your caloric intake, don't forget your body's still burning calories, not just from that 250 you burn during exercise, but your body burns calories because it has to maintain your organs. Depending on how much, especially men, more muscle mass are going to burn more calories at a resting rate. Women will burn if they're lifting. So your body is still burning even when you're sleeping.
Right.
But that's just additional.
But if you work out early on the cardio, you're building up your metabolic rate, your metabolism, right? So when you get done your workout, you're burning calories at a faster rate than if you didn't work out.
The only thing with cardio is when you get up and you're burning cardio, once you're done cardio, you're done burning.
Okay, so
Cardio is it's aerobic, so it's the oxygen that gets in there and helps to burn the calories. So once you step off your treadmill or your elliptical machine, you're done burning calories. When you do resistance training, lifting of weights, you're going to burn even after you've done lifting
because you convert to muscle.
And it's in a repair mode, so your body is now repairing the muscle that you've used. And muscle, just maintaining muscle mass, your body has to consume those calories to help maintain that. So a lot of times what I do is it's my personal preference as a trainer, I put them on cardio after they have done their resistance training program. For me, I know they don't have a chance of hurting themselves form-wise. If they're on cardio first, they end up too tired, there's a greater chance they're going to hurt themselves, but then they get more bang for their buck. Their body's still going to burn after they've done resistance training, and then they're getting up there And as long as they're up there, 20 or more minutes, they're burning aerobically as well.
So there are some fans out there that would say you should work resistance weight one day and then do a cardio the next day for like 6 days a week, 3 on, 3 off, weights, cardio. What's your thought on that?
You can do both.
They're both beneficial.
Absolutely, because one is working your skeletal system and your muscular system, and the other one is working internally. You're working your heart and your lungs. Those are muscles, and there are people that come in, they don't do cardio and they just lift, and I do hound at them, but people assume that, you're supposed to be this big around to be physically fit. That's not the case. Physical fitness starts with the inside, maintaining the organs, making sure your heart and your lungs operate to the best that you can. You want to keep them in good condition, because without them, it's not going to make a difference.
Well, you bring up a good point, because fitness is for every age level.
Absolutely.
That's well proven. And not everybody's going to have the Barbie shape or the Ken shape, okay? But so a person could come in and they may have a little extra weight on them, but they're very healthy.
Absolutely.
They do a lot of cardio, they lift weights, they may want to lose a few extra pounds, but health-wise, if they go get their vitals checked, they're in a very healthy state.
Their cholesterol's good, their triglycerides are good. They could be a little on the heavier side, but they're still within, a reasonable range, as long as their waist measurements are not over,
right,
like 35 inches, they're still in a good, healthy range. BMI, there's a lot of questions about
charts,
that.
I question that.
Yeah, I personally, like my BMI, I'm like 1% away from being overweight.
Yeah.
But that's because it doesn't take into account muscle mass.
Right.
So, you can't really, that's a tough call when you look at BMI. So we don't even go by that. We'll do skin fold analysis here and measurements.
Okay.
And that's a better indicator.
Yeah. This is kind of a prelude to why you want to come to Global Fitness, and we're going to have Joy show us around here. I know you offer the tanning beds also, but can we just kind of get Calvin to, I know you offer Nautilus, you offer free weights, and then I see you got quite a cardio section over there too. So Calvin, if we can just kind of go through here, and we'll just talk about the different pieces of equipment and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, we're in the weight area right now, and like I talked about before we went off camera, you have Nautilus and free weights, and then I hear people say Nautilus is good, but then I hear the dumbbells are probably the best because I don't know, as far as controlling the weights going up and down. What are your thoughts on that?
Nautilus it's controlled. So a lot of people that are inexperienced or older people, Nautilus is really good because it helps really maintain form, gives them an idea of which muscles being used. So it helps, and the resistance on the negative. So when you use cable, you can't let your plates touch until you're done, your repetitions. So it's a different type of resistance compared to dumbbells. Dumbbells, there's much more concentration involved. So it takes a while. If you've never lifted, you take a little bit before you get on the dumbbells, because they move unilaterally. It takes a lot more focus.
I'd probably say Nautilus is probably safer if you don't have a spotter with you.
Absolutely.
I
think that they're both just as beneficial, because the resistance is different.
Now, do you find the membership using weights? Because they say every 2 to 3 weeks you change your routine just to shock the body?
About every 6.
Every 6
about
weeks.
Every 6
so you
weeks.
can stay with one routine for about 6 weeks?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because during that 6-week period, what's going to happen is your weights are going to go up a little bit. So that's challenging your body, because let's say you're doing 3 or 4 sets, and you're getting, if it's a woman that's doing, trying to obtain 15 repetitions, and they're starting out where they're only getting to 10 to 12, but that 6-week period is ending, they've bumped it up like 5 or 10 pounds, and they're starting to get to 15 repetitions. The routine's working, and they're going to have to change it out.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, do you see people changing it out going from the dumbbells, then they'll go onto the Nautilus, or will they just change a different type of routine?
You can intermix it.
Okay.
Even when I do programs, depending on what they're looking for to do, I could have them doing some free weights, some Nautilus, some of the other machines, which are just plate-loaded machines.
And I think there's a misconception out there that, and I think probably among women, they think if they come and use weights, they're going to look like an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
It's not, because women do not harbor the amount of testosterone that men do. And testosterone is a factor in being able to bulk up and build muscle. Women can gain muscle, but it's much on a smaller scale. You define more, and depending on if you're genetically predisposed to being able to gain a little more muscle than someone else, but you don't bulk up.
I've not heard that out there, so I know that's a
They
misconception.
do, it is.
But both genders definitely benefit from the bone density.
Absolutely,
from
especially starting at the age 30, both men and women, their bone density starts to decrease. So it's just beneficial for both men and women to start, even a light resistance training program to keep that bone density up. A lot of people as they age, you'll hear, oh, Aunt Susan fell and broke her hip. And people are like, oh my God, she must have osteoporosis. A lot of times it's not because they have osteoporosis, it's because their muscle tissue is so thin around their joints and on their bone that when they hit, there's nothing to absorb that impact. So their bone breaks. So if you have nice, strong, tight muscle around the joints and around the bones, you have structure there. You have something that's going to hold that intact.
And I think there's another misconception out there that when you go to the gym, you got to be out here for 2-3 hours at a time. What do you think is I mean, to me, any workout is a good workout if people do it.
Yes.
So what do you find from your experience that, is it 30 minutes? Is it 45 minutes? Is it an hour? What would keep people coming back where they feel like they aren't wasting, but spending a lot of time?
I tell people the one thing, especially as we get older, a body in motion is going to stay in motion, where it's easier to move as you start to age. Once you stop moving around, things start to happen. So if you are someone that only has 3 days available, but you have an hour those 3 days, break it up. Do 25 minutes of weights, and do the rest cardio. You've got your 3 days in. Depending on what you have for time, anything can be done. As long as you're moving, as long as you're doing something.
Let's say somebody's committed for 6 days a week, taking a day for rest. What would you say on a daily routine should, not as far as what they do, but how long should it be? 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 30 minutes?
I wouldn't go less than 30.
So anywhere between 30 to 60?
Yep.
Would be ideal.
Yep. Okay. You come in, if you're going to come in 6 days a week, you could do one body part and then do cardio. Yep.
Okay.
That would be perfect.
Okay, great. So I don't know, Calvin, if you can kind of go in toward the cardio out there, but I know you have stair steppers. I see stationary bikes, obviously treadmills. Have I missed anything?
There's a stair climber in the corner, which that doesn't get used much because it is hard. And people get up there and they're like, oh my gosh, this is really hard. And it is, because you got to keep moving on that.
Now, treadmill, I've seen pretty popular.
It is. The treadmills and actually the elliptical machines are extremely popular. There's no impact on the joints. So that really helps a lot of the older people. They can get up there and it's a very fluid elliptical movement, and they can either go backwards or they can go forwards.
Now with cardio, and we didn't, heart rate monitors, if you're looking to lose weight, they're probably the wonderful thing to have because you're probably working between that 60 to 70% range, right? So if you're on the cardio machine and you get the speed up and you get your heart rate there, say you're jogging on a light jog, or you decide to use the inclines and you still hit the same heart rate, you should get the same benefit, right?
Actually, if you're on an incline, you're going to benefit a little bit more because you're taxing your leg muscles more.
Okay.
So you're going to benefit,
So working the inclines is better than running on a straight treadmill.
Well, yeah, because you're actually, it's going to be harder. Once you start an incline,
I know.
it's going to increase, your breathing. Until at some point, you're going to start to acclimate to this stuff. But it's also going to start working mostly your calves, and you're going to notice that probably the next day, that the more you're up on this incline, anytime you take the programming and change the levels, change the course, and you keep doing that, it's going to keep challenging the body, and you'll get more of a workout.
So when people come in, you're really trying to figure out, do they want weight loss or they just want to become toned fit?
Right, or they're working. We've had people that come in because of cholesterol. They bring a note in from their doctor. diabetic. They want to get off medicine,
Yep.
because they're in pill form. So if they can lose some weight, get a little bit fitter, then, we've had that happen. I work with a gentleman that's had 2 hip replacements and 2 knee replacements, and I work with him 3 days a week. I've had, other people coming in that have had knee surgeries, and they finished with their physical therapist. They bring in a note. We continue, working on, strengthening the muscles around the kneecap. There's a lot of different reasons, that people can be in here, not just saying, okay, I want to lose weight.
So if you're helping somebody with a routine, are you with them the whole workout time?
It depends on if that's what they want or not. Personal training, there's a lesser fee for members, and there's a little bit more of a charge for non-members, because we're trying to get them to commit to taking care of their health.
Right.
So it depends. I've had people where I'm with them 2 days a week. I've had people that just say, oh, I just need you to, give me a push-off and get me started, and then in 6 weeks we'll talk again.
Okay.
But I'm always here to answer questions and to help, because, some people will forget. They'll say, ooh, what's this machine for? And then, I'll explain it and I'll show it to them, because we certainly don't want them using it wrong.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then you have people that like to work out early in the morning to jumpstart the day, and you have people who can't, and then
Yep.
they want to work out later.
Later.
So kind of what are your hours here?
Monday through Friday from 7 in the morning to 8 in the evening, and Saturdays from 8 to noon. We are closed on Sunday. We did try Sunday hours, but of course this area, it's a quieter area.
Well, and quite frank, I think if you're working out, you really should rest your body at least one day a week. wouldn't you?
Yes.
I mean, you don't want to be going 7 days strong.
No, you shouldn't. You should give your body a day of rest.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I read that somewhere too. Okay, do you want to show us where your spin classes take place?
Yep, I can. We do have massage therapy here as well, and our
okay.
massage therapist, Jill Padula. She has her own massage room. We do tout the benefits of massage, not just for people that work out, but for people, migraines, stress, pregnancy. So she does that as well. We do detoxing. We do ear candling here as well. The spin room is in the back.
What room's that?
The spin and
Oh,
yoga
spin room,
room.
okay, yep.
That's in the back where the exit sign is.
Okay.
So the spin bikes are back there. Those are 2 evenings a week. Yoga's back in there. That's 2 evenings a week. And then off to the right of that is our martial arts studio, and where we do aerobics as well, because there's a 3/4-inch foam mat in there. So that way, it's less impact when you do floor aerobics
Okay.
or step aerobics. There's less impact on the joints than working on a tile or a wooden floor.
Okay, now Calvin, do you want to go in and take a look at that? Okay, let's go take a look at the room. All right, we made it into the spin room, right?
Yes, this
Okay,
is where
and
spin and yoga is held.
Spin and yoga. Okay, now kind of explain what the spin bikes are about.
They're a stationary bike, but they're made a little bit different than what you would get out in the cardio area. You get on the bike, the bike is going to adjust to your seat height and to your arm height.
Okay.
So you're going to change positions. The instructor takes you on a ride. It's your own ride. It's done to music, and she's going to tell you, you're on a standing flat, a jogging hill, you're on a running decline hill, all while being done to music. So she's also going to tell you to change your hand position. On those handles. She's going to tell you, position 1, position 2. And she'll tell you sometimes even to sit back, so you're sitting up tall and you're just pedaling.
Okay.
The class is about an hour long. The girls that do come in, they all have their favorite bikes that they navigate to.
So it can only be seven at a time then?
Yep, for now.
Now, do they sign up for that?
No, I shouldn't say no. It is first come, first serve.
Okay.
Members, people that are actual members, are going to get the bikes first,
Okay.
because that's the privilege of being a member. If there's anything open, anyone that comes in on a day pass, is then going to get a bike as well. It's very challenging To do, we usually suggest to people that when they first start, not to play with the tension on the bike, to wait until they get down what the different moves are.
Okay.
You know, her instruction. But it's a lot of fun, burn a lot of calories.
Okay,
it's
you do.
good for the legs, good for the heart, good for the lungs.
So is there a warm-up and cool-down period during this time?
You do a little bit of a warm-up before you really get started, and when she cools you down and she has you stretch, and sometimes she'll, after you've cooled down, she may even have you get off the bike. Sometimes she'll do light weights right after for about 10 minutes
You
also.
keep saying she.
Yes, the instructor.
Okay, and that's not you?
No,
Okay.
no. And sometimes she'll do abdominal work on the floor with the girls that are here. So you always get a little bit extra.
Okay. And I notice above my head here, there's a basketball ring here too. What can you kind of tell the folks about that?
There is. You can do a little, one-on-one, or, you can come in and shoot some hoop by yourself. We have a lot of the younger kids in between their sets. They'll come in, they'll shoot a couple hoops, go back out. They come in, shoot a couple hoops, they go back out. It's just something a little extra that, sometimes they do come in and they'll do a little quick 2-on-2,
Right.
and they play. So it's just a little extra fun for some of the younger kids.
Okay, now, while we're in the spin room, when do you offer the spin classes?
Spin is Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays at 6 o'clock and Wednesdays at 5:30.
Okay, and then you offer yoga in this room?
Yes.
And when are the classes in this room?
Mondays at 5 and Fridays at 5 is yoga.
All right, now the room over right there that we're going to next is your...
That's the dojang, or the
martial art
room, and the aerobics room.
Okay, let's go check that room out.
Okay?
Okay, we're in the martial arts room and the aerobic room.
Yes.
Okay, and I know that while we're here, you have one of your young men out there who
I
is
do.
first-time black belt?
Yeah, he became a black belt. My husband and I, all the years that we have been doing Taekwondo, we've never had an assistant instructor. We've always done it ourselves. And if we couldn't be there for a class, we would just cancel it because we just didn't feel comfortable. It's very traditional. And Eric Auger is, if you could say, like a perfect student, would be Eric. He was very good at learning the philosophy. It's a thick booklet that the students get. When they reach a red belt level, they have to take a written exam and pass that exam to get that red belt. Then they move on to, it takes a while to his black belt. And he helped us instruct classes. And I went and did some classes at St. Mary's during the school year a couple years ago, and I brought him with me as part of his black belt training, and had him start teaching the younger kids, and he's just wonderful.
Now, how long has Eric been doing this?
He's 20 now. I think he started when he was like 14 or 15.
Started the martial arts?
Right.
Okay. All right.
And he's been teaching for us for almost a year.
I mean, martial arts is more than just the moves. It's really a
Absolutely.
fitness.
It is.
They say it's excellent fitness.
It's very, the workout is very intense. It's very core orientated. Everything comes from the core,
So
the
people
center.
can literally get fit doing martial arts.
Yes, absolutely.
With a proper diet, of
It's
course.
tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's very good mentally.
Now, is that a young person's game or any age group can
Any
come and do it?
age. We
Really?
have, they have to, the child has to at least be 5 years old or in kindergarten. And I'm probably the oldest. I think I'm the oldest one now, but people well into their 40s, put it that way.
Okay.
So all ages. We have families that do it together, mom and dad and the kids, siblings that do it together. We have parents that come in at the recommendation of their child's doctor. We have worked with the Clinton County Youth Bureau, Clinton County Department of Social Services to get kids in here to the program. We work with autistic children, so they can come in and participate. And parents will come in and say, oh, we're having such a hard time with them in school. Gym class is a nightmare. And they come in here, and it's such a different setting for them. We're like, yeah, we have no problem. And the parents really like it.
Now, what are the hours for the martial arts?
We have all belt classes on Mondays at 6, Fridays at 5:30, beginners class every Wednesday at 4:45, and an advanced belt class Wednesdays at 5:30.
So if a person wanted to progress through the different belts, how many days a week should they be doing this?
As many as you can.
Oh, really?
You know, I mean, if you're,
So do
if
some do
you're
it at home
serious about it.
themselves, too?
Yep, you practice, you know, you go through that pamphlet, because when we test, we don't say, okay, it's been 3 months, we have to test. We don't do that, because they have to know what is in that booklet. They have to be able to answer these questions. They got to be able to perform the technique. And if they can't, that's a direct reflection on us as instructors. We're not doing our job right. It could take one child 3 months, but it could take this child 7 months. But that child at 7 months, once they're able to test, we know and their parents know that they've earned that.
Right.
Because they know what they're doing. And we verbally, besides physically testing them, and parents are all, aunts, uncles, grandparents, they all come in and sit around the room
Yeah.
during the testing, and we verbally ask them questions. You know, like on the wall, we have the tenets, you know, articles of mental training. They have to know this stuff, so we, you know, we ask them the questions. They have to come to attention. They have to answer the questions. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Now, do any of your students go off to competition?
We do. We go to tournaments.
Okay.
We attend quite a few in Vermont. We attend some in Montreal. The ones in Vermont, they do point sparring, a lot of point sparring now.
There's contact.
The point sparring, very light or to none, because it's based on technique and where, you know, you're hitting the target. Olympic sparring, you know, actual sparring is full contact with the head. You know, you got your padded gear on. That still takes place in Montreal and here in New York.
Okay.
So we give them a bit of both. We start the kids out usually with the point sparring, so they kind of get an idea of what's going on.
Okay.
So then they're not so afraid when it comes to the full contact.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you teach the swan from Karate Kid?
A lot of the kids play with that while they're in here. You know, we do a jumping front kick, which is a faster version of that, but, you know, they do play around with that when they're in here.
Just to have fun with that.
Yeah,
And
they
this is
do.
also your aerobic room, too?
It is.
Okay, and when do you offer aerobics here?
Aerobics is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30. People come in, and it's done on this mat because it's a 3/4 inch foam mat, and it's less impact on the joints. Instead of doing it like on a, you know, a commercial tile floor or a wooden floor. They come in and it's just easier on them. And then when they get down and we do the floor exercises and the light rubberized weights, that gets done after every aerobic class. It's just nicer on them. It's more comfortable on them. And safety-wise, it's better.
I mean, you're here obviously for quite a bit of the day.
Yes.
Now, what do you work out, like 6 hours a day? You tell me all this
No,
stuff. I'm going, you must work out all the time.
I lost my son a couple years ago, and I have gotten lazy. I admit to that. Priorities change, so I'm not so, I guess, obsessive about it as I used to be, but I still try to work out at least 3 days out of the week.
Okay.
So, and I do.
So your workout is completely different than, so you aren't like running the spin class or the aerobics class?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I don't. I used to do all the classes, you know, not spin. I never
Right.
did spin or the yoga, but, you know, the resistance training classes I used to hold, the aerobics classes I used to do, and I've stepped back from that.
So when you did, you were working out a lot
Yes,
every day.
every day. I was teaching classes every day, and the martial art classes every day, the aerobics
Yeah.
classes, resistance training, a lot. You know, and then I would do my resistance training too.
Okay.
So I've stepped back from that, and I'm liking it.
Okay.
You know, as I've gotten older, and I still have a 12-year-old at home. So
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, so now, now you have the tanning beds. Is there any other rooms available that you have in here?
We have the massage therapy room with
Okay.
our massage therapist.
Can we take a look at that?
Yep, and we have an esthetician's room, which we are looking for someone now to do facials and aesthetics.
Okay.
The gal that we had previously, Trish, had to leave to take care of her daughter in Boston. So
Okay.
we were very sad to see her go. But we have those 2 rooms as well we can look at.
Very good. We'll head over there. Okay, Joy, and if you can explain again what this room is?
This is the aesthetics room where facials are done, and where we also do tooth whitening with a LED light machine. That gets done in here. And as I said, right now we're still looking for someone to do facials. Our gal left, but we still do the tooth whitening in here. It's very subdued when it's being done. The main light's off, the small light's on, there's music playing, so it's all about your time in here. And we make it very comfortable, very relaxed and soothing.
Kind of like a spa experience.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So that is something that we offer, and we've been doing this since 2008.
Okay. Well, and one reason, Joy, that we do these shows, we're kind of talking off camera, is that a lot of people don't know you're here.
Yeah.
But we found that with the businesses in the North Country, and we're trying to promote local business for people to support local folks, realizing that the money stays in the area, and it's people like you that can support outside interests when you can. And we can only do that if people support us.
Absolutely.
And so I think this has been a great interview so far, and we aren't done yet, but I think it's great for people to know what you offer here. I know I told you that I didn't realize that you offered half the stuff that you do here.
A lot of people don't.
And, and while I'm at it, Calvin, I just want to make an appeal to the viewers out there that Calvin is doing this. Hometown Cable is viewer-supported and business-supported. And if you've seen the show before and you've donated and it's been a while, please send a donation to 1477 Ridge Road in Champlain, New York, 12919, or you can go to hometowncablenetwork.com and pay through a PayPal account. Or if you're a business and you want to advertise on Hometown Cable, Calvin does have extremely very, very good rates, and the exposure is phenomenal. I know when we run a show, or I've done businesses, and they'll see me or Calvin and say, man, people saw the show, they came to check us out. So the exposure works out really well, and I'm hoping that you can experience the same thing. But it's all done through Calvin, and I've said this many, many times on air, that Calvin is a North Country treasure. He's been doing this for 28, 29 years. He has thousands and thousands of programs already on the internet, with thousands more to go up there. This show will be posted tonight on the internet. It'll hit the local access station, whatever his schedule allows it. But when you go back in time and you play back these shows, I mean, this here will be to you like a hometown treasure. Your family will look at this 5-10 years from now and go, wow, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So if anybody can support Calvin, this is how he makes his living. There's no state funding, there's no federal funding. So we call it an appeal to save the North Country treasures of the North Country. Again, I'm with Joy Jubert with her Global Fitness Gym here between Rouse's Point and Champlain. Calvin's on the camera. I'm Joey Trombley. And we still have a couple more rooms to see, right?
Yep, I'm going to show you the massage therapy room.
Sounds good. We'll go there next. Okay, we made it into the massage room, and now obviously that speaks for itself. But do they offer different type of massages?
She does. She offers Swedish deep tissue, pregnancy, reflexology, sports massage, which works and coincides well, with the people working out here. Her name's Jill Padula. Wonderful, wonderful girl. She, as I was telling you off camera, she goes around with me to health fairs. We did Career Day in Moores, and she brings her little portable chair, and she'll do mini massages and explain to people, what the benefits of massage are. She's held seminars here where people can come in, and she'll also do a massage where, you don't have to have any of your clothes off. So that way people that aren't sure what a massage is or have never had one, they can kind of get an idea of it. She does a very good job. I highly recommend her.
Now, is she by appointment only here?
Yes. Yep. Okay. She usually books Mondays and Thursdays, anytime that we're open from 7 in the morning. She'll take her last appointment at 7.
Right.
So if it's an hour, we're open till 8.
Sure.
And, if it needs to be on another day, she tries to work it out with them.
Now, does she do house calls? Does she have a portable table she carries around?
She does have a table, but she also works part-time at One Step Ahead, I think it's called, in Plattsburgh. So that part's hard for her to do right now.
So to set up, they just call the number here to set up the appointment? Okay. Now, what is your phone number here?
It's 518-297-FIT, F-I-T-T, or 3488.
Okay, 348.
You like that?
Appropriate. It is very appropriate. Okay. Now, you talk about reflexology. That's the massage of the feet, right?
Yep, and you can she'll do like your hands too. She'll massage the hands.
Now,
like,
I've read this, that different pressure points of the feet actually affect the organs of the body.
Yeah, it does. I don't know a whole lot about that. I mean, Jill really does all that. She does such a wonderful job. She really does. And she, besides doing the massage, she likes to educate the people too. And she does an intake form on everyone to make sure, everything's good to go. And she asks questions and what their needs are, why they're here.
I assume she has different times of like half-hour massage, an hour
Yep,
massage.
in an hour and a half.
So those are the three.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Half hour, hour, and a half. Okay.
Yep.
So that's cool.
It's massages, people think it's a luxury thing, but it's not. Massage, a lot of insurance companies now are paying for, so many massages per year because it actually is beneficial. It's good for the heart, it's good for detoxification, it's good for migraines, obviously stress.
Right.
So there's more to massage than thinking it's a pampering.
Right. You just picture people going to a spa and just getting a massage.
Kind of, that kind of gave it a bad rap.
Right.
And it's not. It's part of a whole, it's kind of an alternative health therapy, especially like people that don't have health insurance today. There's a way to, have health maintenance, massage, exercise, detoxing, doing certain things to keep your body in optimal condition.
Okay.
That's what people should be doing.
Well, another service here at the Global Fitness Gym.
Absolutely.
And I know we walked by a couple tandem beds.
Yes, we have 4 units. We have 3 beds and 1 stand-up.
Okay.
New York State has just changed the rule that anyone 17 and under, there is no, if you're under the age of 17, you can't tan anymore in New York State. 17, they say parental permission.
Right.
Do I think it's a good thing? In some cases, yes. At least we can control it.
Right.
The kids are still going to be outside.
Right.
Just like adults do. It's like with anything in moderation.
Sure.
So, but we have them here. We have 4 of them. We have different packages for them. The rooms are decorated in different themes. So we make it comfortable and enjoyable to be in. And
do we want to show them on the camera the
Sure.
rooms? Okay, Calvin, let's just head over there and we can show those rooms. Okay, so we're in front of where the tandem beds are, and I guess you got a couple themes here.
Yep. One is Orient, one's Mexico. We just decorate them differently. Same units in each room. They're a 20-minute lay down. Actually, they're very popular. People like these so they can go in and just rest, relax when they're able to build up to that 20-minute time. We have a 10-minute one. People that are in a rush on the go or lunchtime, they come in because when they first start out, believe it or not, they're only in there for 3 or 4 minutes till they build up to 10.
Right.
And for people that are kind of claustrophobic, we have a stand-up.
Okay.
So that way it does not have to shut all the way on them. They can still see outside.
Now, should they call and set up an appointment?
Right now, during this time of the year, no.
Right.
But when you get around vacation time, January, February, March, you're better off calling to make sure you get it. Yeah,
available.
because a lot of times after work time, we're running them back to back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, just to recap, you offer a lot here. Okay, so you can add on as I'm going. You offer free weights. You offer Nautilus.
Yep.
You offer cardio.
Yes.
With many different cardio machines.
Yes.
From the treadmill to the stationary bikes to the stair climbers. Elliptical machine.
Yep.
Okay. Then you have spin classes and you have yoga.
Yep.
Then you also offer martial arts and aerobics.
Yes.
And then the room over there where the
aesthetics.
The aesthetics room, you offer
and
that.
tooth whitening.
And tooth whitening. Then you offer massage therapy.
Detoxing.
Right.
And ear candling.
And then you offer tanning
Tanning,
beds.
yes.
Okay. Have I missed anything here?
We sell supplements. I
Okay.
don't keep a lot on hand, but I do special order, like especially for a lot of the guys. I only do a 15% markup on my supplements, and that helps to cover my cost. I make a little profit, and it pays for shipping.
Right.
just because it's not a big thing that we do.
Sure.
And a lot of times, believe it or not, I can beat GNC. You know, I
Really?
work with a really good company.
Okay.
And I do have a lot of guys that'll order the protein powders and whatnot. I have been since 2005. The Arbonne products, they're all natural. They're botanically based. You know, I sell those. I sell actually a lot of the men's line in here for their actually shaving.
Okay.
A lot of the shampoos, a lot of the skincare, and that coincides with the aesthetics. We kind of have a little hodgepodge of stuff going on in here.
You sure do.
Yeah.
So I'm with Joy Jubert. It's Joy Sarbo Jubert?
Yes.
Okay. And Calvin Castane's on the camera. I'm Joey Trombley. But here's a gem that we have here in the North Country between Champlain and Rouse's Point. And if you're seeing this for the first time, they do offer a boatload of things you can do here for your health. And it's not just membership. I'm sure you take memberships all the time, but somebody can walk in and get a day pass too.
Absolutely. $6 day pass. And what we do is if you came in the morning and you worked out on weights and you wanted to come back later in the evening and do a class, that day pass still counts. We don't recharge you to come back in and pay extra for the class. You just come in and show that you signed in on the day pass sheet. You know, I might say, can I see ID if I, for some reason, wasn't here or whatever, which is not very often, but we don't make you pay twice. You paid for one day pass. You want to come back later, you come back later.
Okay. And if you want to learn about their rates and stuff, just give you a call and you can talk about the different programs that you have.
Yep. We have a website.
Why don't you give the website out?
It's www.globalfitness253.com, and we're on Facebook under Global Fitness and Martial Arts.
Okay, and I know Facebook is catching on pretty well for you.
It is.
You'd mentioned that off camera. I mean, it seems like everybody's on Facebook. So you have a business Facebook page.
We do, and believe it or not, I throw a lot of specials on there, and we do have a special for August that I've never done before. Business is slow. It's slow for everybody. So I have where if mom and dad join for either a 9 or 12-month membership, their kids are going to get it free.
Well, I know this time of year with summer and vacations and stuff, people kind of let themselves go a little bit, but there always seems to be, when Labor Day comes, there's a sense of renewal where people want to get fit and get in shape and stuff. And so Labor Day's coming, so I would say give Joy a call.
I'm hoping. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Okay. Again, I'm Joey Trombley, Joy Sarbo Jubert, Calvin Castine on the camera. This has been another edition of Talkin' Business.